What is up, everybody? Escape211 here. We are on the test server, and I am playing around with the Chaingun 16. Now, we had Nomad and the Ember gun come out, and those were, more interesting, but I wanted to look at the Chaingun 16. Some of you may think this is a lost cause, but we have seen different times where certain energy variants at higher or different areas have been better than other ones. Like the VRPG 8 did not perform too well, but the VRPG 16 is a decent weapon, and I honestly think this one is kind of decent. I don't really think it's anything all that great, but I am going to try it at different settings. Now, this is the first setup that I have. I'll put my build up. This is where we have it at the natural 5 stars. Now, on the test server, they've been giving us everything at the natural star rating. So I had to start here at 5 stars, but I wanted to do it with, everything being stock 5 stars, legendary. The AI here seems like roughly about my level. I've played about 10 games, and the AI hasn't changed enough. This is about as good as I can get them, I think, where I basically am hitting them where they are between 4 and 5 stars with a lot of their stuff, depending on, what they're running. So it feels about even. Okay, I was just trying to get my fire high up because I knew they were going to come around the corner. And I wanted to have max fire. There we go. I do feel like at this stage, this has been a really fun weapon to play with. I'll give it that. No. I'm so far back, though. Okay, I was going to say we should be good. It's one where it's got enough punch, but you can play far enough away with what is around here at the 4 to 5 star area, at least with bots. Again, I'm obviously only playing against bots. Your experience will vary for players depending on what they're actually using. Okay, I was hoping that they would pop out around the sides, but I can take this guy out because he's got a short-range build with Maya there. All right. It isn't going to give you, everything that you'd want for playing against players, but this is definitely a fun build to play with. There are builds out there that are more about enjoying the actual combat than playing what's meta, right? This is one of those where I feel like the combat is more enjoyable. I have to think a little bit more. There's a little bit more involved in actual fighting, like trying to shoot around my stupid AI teammates, guys. Come on, seriously. Let me get some shots in. That kind of stuff, at least it makes it a more enjoyable experience. But, this isn't really going to be super meta-based stuff. It can compete. It's just not something I think is nearly as good as the other stuff, which is no surprise. But I do think that at this higher energy variant, it may not be as good as, let's say, the minigun. But I think it's probably doing pretty decently. I don't know. We'll have to see as I scale this up. I'll do a couple different builds at different stages. And you'll see the difference in each of those, and we'll see how that plays out. But here in this area, after playing with it, this was more fun for sure. So I liked it. I liked it at this stage when you would get it naturally at 5 stars. Definitely something to play around with, if you happen to get it or see a good deal for it. Not a terrible one to pick up for sure. Yeah. All right, next build we got is going to be with the Gate Crasher. I will put the build up, but I'm trying to do this one a little higher up, right, where we got better implants, and we're doing a 12 and a 16 together. So you feel more punch with this. This one has been really interesting and fun to play. I will say that it's in some ways harder because the AI has been a little beefier, and with this build, well, I mean, Gate Crasher is probably about the same as Scorpions. I don't think they change a whole lot between the two. But, enemies are harder to kill, and I feel like there are more, probably because it takes me longer to kill enemies, I'm getting more assists than I am kills than I did with the other build. But, oh, man, I really thought that one was going to land. But it has been good. I enjoyed it so far, for sure. It's just not, I don't know, it varies. Some of my matches I do better than others in terms of killing. Probably depends on when I start firing at enemies, but it does still feel like it kills decently fast. Its DPS is, as we talked about, better than the other versions, but it's not anything outwardly amazing. It still feels like it lags a little behind what I would want by comparison to the minigun, but it's also one that allows you to shoot further away than the minigun, playing more of that support fire role. So it's just, you play this differently. But the damage is better. It's there, and it almost feels like it can it possibly can. I don't know. We'll see. Again, I still have to get this maxed out to see how it competes with the minigun full scale at that point. But the 12s, you know, when we were talking Chaingun 12s, it didn't quite compete. When we get into 16s, you know, it may be able to. We'll see. We'll see soon. But I don't know. I like this. Oh my gosh, this is a terrible shot. What was I doing? I thought I was poking out enough, I guess. Yeah, you can already see that I'm getting more assists than I did probably with whatever footage I used from the Scorpius one. But that's to be expected. AI is tougher, harder to kill. But you know, this is an interesting one for sure. I like it. Oh man, I'm surprised that one landed. I'll take it though. I'll take it. That would not work with a player. They walked right into that though. I do appreciate that his ability allows you to be a little more long range, which is kind of, you know, the sweet spot for this weapon. Kind of a sniper-ish assault weapon, I guess, if you want to call it something like that. That was a bad shot. But you know, it's a fun one. I enjoy it. There we go. Yeah. Hammers, anvil, less kills. But that's just how it goes there. Yeah. All right, we'll do one where we max everything out. We'll see how it goes. All right. Now we're doing the dual Chaingun 16. We're doing it on the Panther. I will put my build up. This is pretty much the max style build. This actually has 4 implants that you can use when you're at legendary status. I tried it with the 4 implants, and I felt like I was waiting a couple times a little bit more for my shield or barrier to put up. So this time I tried to do it where I can kind of even out my reload time with this. I feel like someone's going to come around the corner. Man, I will say, when doing this build, even though I feel like the 16 can hang and do decently here, the level of exposure that you need to have for this build worries me for sure. It feels like it's, oh gosh, oh, I thought that was going to be dead. Oh, no. There's another one. There's a brick house with the EMs. This is what I'm finding, man. There's a lot of the railguns and EMs, and because I'm running Panther, that'll be a one-shot kill. I've been playing this a bit. Oh my gosh, that guy luckily did not see me. I've been playing this a bit with Panther, and you know, I don't know what footage I'm going to use, but most of my matches have been where I'm doing well, and then I just get popped in one shot, and I'm dead. That's natural for Panther, but because the amount of time that you need to stay with this weapon up, you can't hide as much as you normally would. You definitely have to rely more on your shield than you do with other builds, which isn't terrible because that's why it's there. But I do think, you know, it lacks something compared to other builds. So that is definitely tricky. Come on. Okay, I'm not going to stay here. If that guy starts walking down there, he's going to insta-kill me. And that guy would too. Well, actually, he wouldn't insta-kill me, but we will just try to corner shoot some health away. Oh my gosh, and I got a Scorpius right on my butt. Okay, good. Got him. All right, we got to move. We got to move. Okay. You can already see where you get in hot water pretty quickly here. And I'll probably just die and then have to restart this. Oh my gosh, I didn't think you could even get to me. I guess he saw enough of me. Ah, you jerk. Gosh, that freaking Scorpius. Even with those, I mean, those are using the grav beams right now. The Scorpius typically, when I'm fighting, you know, the end game stuff, it's all maxed out stuff, but it's like the idea that they're using a Scorpius and they're using grav beams, they still kill faster than this weapon does. And because grav beams and miniguns kill roughly about the same speed, this weapon still lags behind those. Not terribly, but enough where it still feels a little bit behind. But it's a fun weapon, and like, you know, as you're seeing here, you can decently survive with it. But if you're talking about playing against players, if you're talking real high-end play, this weapon still does not quite cut it for me. It's one that's for fun. It's one that you have to play smarter with. It's one that you can play for defensive or suppression builds. But in terms of keeping up with the meta kills, no. Okay, it's tricky to do. I'm in a bad spot here. This is not good. Okay, there's a couple guys down there. I'll throw my shield down. Take him out. I mean, look at that. I mean, it does... Well, I mean, he turned his back, but it does decently at taking out, like, a brick house once you get your build-up time going. But, you know, it's still a lot of exposure. It's just a lot. It's a lot of exposure. I do find it interesting that at higher levels, I'm seeing some surges running this weapon, which is kind of cool. Enemy surges. Well, I mean, even team surges, I've seen it, but it's not one that I would think is going to be too good. So, yeah, I mean, as to be expected, this weapon is not performing quite as amazingly as other stuff, but the 16, I do feel when you first get it at its natural star rating, it's pretty good. It performs well, but as this levels up to get to like even levels of everything else competing against it, it will feel slightly behind. It's not a bad legendary, but you're sacrificing some of that DPS for the extra range and optimal range that you get out of it. So I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think of this weapon. Do you like it? Is it something that fits your play style? Or this is something you're just going to pass on because you're meta? Totally understandable, but curious to hear your thoughts, and we'll see you out there on the battlefield.